Hey everybody, it's Annie from Asian Boss. China, only one of 5 remaining communist countries, is also one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The number of foreign employees in China has increased significantly in the past decades. So, we thought it would be interesting to find out why they came and what it's like to live as a foreigner in China. Let's hit the streets of Shanghai to find out.
So, where are you from and how long have you been in China?
I'm from Egypt and I've been here for 4 years.
I'm from Russia. I've been living in Shanghai for almost 6 years.
I'm originally from Lecce in Italy, and I've been in China for a couple of years.
I grew up in the northeast of the US, Connecticut to be specific. I've been in Shanghai for 12 years.
So what made you decide to move here?
The language Chinese. I started in 1989.
You know, originally I studied Chinese years ago when I was in college and wanted to move over here, and then just ended up staying all this time.
I got a pretty good job right after university, working in mergers and acquisition investment banking. So I came here right after ending university.
Before coming to China, what was your perception of China?
Oh, a lot of stereotypes, like a mystical country with Kung Fu masters and still a lot of bicycle all around, like bicycle kingdom, you know.
The first time I came here was about 18 years ago, so I think before that, not a lot of perception, maybe a developing country, big developing country in Asia, and it's changed a lot since then.
So after your time here in China, have your perception changed about China?
Really changed a lot, yeah.
What is that now?
Changed a lot, and in a good way, because China, especially the key cities like Shanghai, Beijing, really international cities welcome foreigners like us. This is really a good place to live and to stay.
Everything is so digitalized every day, you know, here in China especially, like you pay everything with your cell phone. In Italy you just forget about doing something like this. It's crazy for us.
What surprised you the most when you first came here that people outside China might not know about?
I couldn't find any European food. So for us to find a good bread, it was like really challenge. There was like one place I think in Beijing you can find something.
Toilet paper.
What's that?
No, but really, like really rough toilet paper here. I was just like, what is that?
On the good side, the efficiency of public transportation, so subway, metro and everything. On the bad side, the food quality. Like, it's very easy to get I'm not saying it doesn't taste good, but it's bad for you. Like, you have problems and you feel sick if you don't eat at the right places.
So when I was walking on the street at night, just going back home, I was approached by this guy on the bicycle and started to talk to me in a broken English. So I said, okay, that's nice, you know, still. And then he started to ask the size of my penis. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Oh, and then he changed, like, so how much you make every month? I was like, okay, this is going very weird. Like, okay, leave me alone.
So, what kinds of stereotypes have you come across as a foreigner in China?
A lot of people are surprised at how short I am for a white person, so I've gotten that before.
If I say I'm from Russia, then they're gonna ask me, oh, you drink only vodka, so.
When I tell people I'm from Egypt, so people think like maybe we still have camels on the road, you know, we live in tents, stuff like that. So sometimes I got like questions like that, Chinese, if I have a friend he can translate to me, you know. But I just don't tell my guys in Cairo we have a big city as well. So maybe that's the stereotype, you know.
Italian, oh, nice shoes. Oh, football is good, which is not true, but.
So where do you think these stereotypes come from?
These stereotypes come from, I would say like majority of stereotypes come from like TV and radio maybe, yeah.
So generally speaking, how do you think foreigners are portrayed on the Chinese media?
It's funny because I noticed that some local brands or local in China or from Asia try to use foreigners like advertisement, and the other way around, international brands try to use Chinese people for advertising their products.
I think the media does a pretty favorable job. I think foreigners are usually seen as a positive light from a business aspect, bringing experience from other more developed, more mature markets here. that can benefit the economy and people's business.
So the international media always talk about Chinese censorships, and what have you about your personal experience regarding this issue?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to function both on a personal life and work life without VPN. So I see everything. Like, there's a significant amount of way more than I expected, to be honest.
It's quite annoying. I'm not a big fan.
It's annoying. Well, it just all we do is we want YouTube. We want Facebook to look at friends, cats, and dogs. That's all we want, right? So it's not like we don't want to do anything else.
As a foreigner, what worries you the most about living in China?
Visa. Because every year you have to renew. You never know if sometimes one day they won't let you renew it. Anything else is okay.
Air pollution. For reals. Like, I mean, I've been sick many times this year because of the air pollution in Beijing. It hasn't been that bad actually during the winter and stuff, but yeah, I feel like it's actually like a health concern. Like it's major and it's crazy.
Xi Jinping, yeah, he's trying to go like the way Mao did, not as far as economic policies, hopefully, but as far as government control and generally. So I don't like that. I don't like China was opening up not only on an economic point of view, but also on a social democracy point of view, but it's regressing quite significantly. So that worries me quite a bit. And a friend of mine thinks there's going to be a war for Taiwan in the next 3 years.
Have you ever felt discriminated against or uncomfortable in public space because you are a foreigner?
No, I didn't have this problem.
I mean, in terms of the pricing of things, maybe prices were higher for me than they would have been. When we've traveled, sometimes I'll let my husband go in first and ask to see what the price is, and they'll hide around the corner.
But then we discover how good you are at haggling.
Yeah.
You end up, just send her in all the time, so you can just get best prices for everybody.
Yes, it happens sometimes. Yes.
What's your story?
So I was made paying to visit one monument because I wasn't not even Chinese, but I wasn't Han, which means that not only they are discriminating with foreigners, but they are discriminating even with Chinese. So if you are not even Hanzu, then you have to pay, which I find it very ridiculous.
I think I'm alright, but I know a lot of people who are not okay with that, and they leave China because of this reason, because even if you speak language, if you have a working visa here, if you actually live a long time here, everybody still treat you as a foreigner, as an outsider, and they maybe not trust you, or they won't cheat you or something like that.
On the flip side, are there any advantage to being a foreigner here than the Chinese people?
Oh yes, of course. A lot of my friends, they can get money very easily here. You can teach English, you can just model in everything,
Yeah, like sometimes when you're a foreigner and going like inside a place that you need a permit or something, but because of the security guard cannot communicate with you, so they are just okay, let him go, I want to get rid of him,
Do you think is there a white privilege here?
There used to be a little bit of a white privilege, which was maybe kind of a leftover from colonial era stuff. But I think as the economy grows here, and economically people we're more or less peers with Chinese people, I think that's dying out.
People are more likely to try and approach and talk to you and try to be nicer in most cases, because they want to talk to English. A funny thing that happened, I went for last year for Golden Week, I went to Nanjing with my father. We went to the Sun Yat-sen Mausoleum, and there was a lot of people from the countryside, I assume. So it's pretty fun. A lot of people wanted to take pictures with us. And that never happens in Shanghai because people are used to seeing foreigners, but it was pretty funny. That happened. It was pretty nice.
So what would you want to say to those people who are thinking about visiting China?
You should definitely come to China. It's a wonderful country, lots of history, lots of interesting culture, and it's a place of lots of change. So that's fascinating to see.
Being here for like over a year now, I'm actually happy that I came and experienced something that's so different, because once you actually understand or like kind of get inside that culture, I think that you don't see it as like something super, super different, but rather like I mean, yeah, it's different, but you don't see it as weird anymore, I think.
Well, visiting China is great. You guys have to do that. But if you want to live here, you have to be prepared. So never ever move here before you actually visit China before. I think first you visit Asia and understand what it is, then you decide, do you want to travel or not?
How did you find their answers? If you've ever been to China, what was your experience like? Let us know in the comments. For more authentic insight into the latest news and cultural trends from Asia, be sure to subscribe to Asian Boss and follow us on our social media. Thanks for watching and see you next time.